Hey, John, sorry about that. I think I'm making a few calls just to see if the band is open. I was just on CW there. Nice of you to respond to let me know I'm being heard in beautiful Belgium. I know it's pretty late over there right now. My local time here in Trinidad is 7:04 in the PM. This signal don't sound like a local 5-9 there, John. ON8EI 9Y4M, over.
Yeah, Roger, and it's nice to have you and not too many people calling. So it's great. I think it's kind of one of your first calls that you've made because after a while, although it is late in Europe and most sensible people are sleeping, there's always a great pile up when you start to rattle the cans. Over.
Yeah, John. As they say, I'm not going to stay too long this time, though. I have to head off in a bit, but I just thought I'd make a few calls because CW was really great a few moments ago. Band commissions are a little bit rough on my end. We got some Cure Nancy here, but the propagation's still there, obviously, because we're putting a really cracking signal down this way. The last time I spoke, I had my old call, 9Z4Y, so my call sign has changed now to 9Y4M there, John, as you probably figured out by now. But how are you doing? How is things in beautiful Belgium, go?
Yeah, well, things are fine. Yesterday, I turned even 61. So although I might look it, I don't feel it. Over.
Oh well, happy belated birthday, John. It's another milestone for you, and in the month of July. Yeah, my girlfriend also is in the month of July. July are great people, so there you go. Well, anyway, you're as old as you feel there, John, but the entire month is supposed to be your birthday, not just one day. So I'm wishing you many more birthdays to come, John, go.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for that. And I don't know if anyone ever told you, but sometimes when I hear your voice and the way you speak, you sound like, what's the guy that used to own OptiBeam, Tom, Blue Ocean, over.
Okay, Delta Florida to Blue Ocean, I think it is, if I remember right. EF2BL. Yeah, I know Tom quite a bit. And haven't heard him on the air for quite a while. I don't think I sound like John, though, do I? But anyway, I don't think I sound like him, though. Yeah, a little bit different. But anyway, thanks a lot for the compliment, though. I'll consider that a compliment because he always sounds great. The last time I think he was using Kenwood 890, if I'm not mistaken. So, but I haven't heard him for quite some time, though. Not sure what's going on there. But I'll take it as a compliment there, John, and whatnot. So, yeah, we are in the storm season here right now in the Caribbean, and anytime now, Africa is going to be putting out some storms setting in this way throughout the Caribbean and maybe up to North America. So it's going to be like that until November. So we're looking to see what's going on with the WX-ray. And every day is a different story now. One day it's raining and storming, and the next day is a blistering sun there, John.
Yeah, Roger. Well, that's not so nice, and the uncertainty of things. So I'm just wondering, your house, is it made of wood or is it made of brick, over?
Yeah, it's all metal and bricks. That's the first time I've gotten that question. But, you know, here in the tropics, there are a lot of old colonized houses that are made out of wood. Those houses are close to the beaches and whatnot. I'm not so fortunate to be on the beachfront. But the roof is all metal and it's all concrete, because of where we live and the kind of climate and weather that we get, we have no choice but to batten the hatches and lock it down there, John.
Yeah, Roger. So I don't know, the last big one that came through, were you affected, over?
Okay, no. Oscar Nancy 8 Echo India 9Y4 Magic. I'll tell you, last year, the only one that came really close to us here was Tropical Storm Beryl, and it came over to the north of us, but the island of Grenada and the Grenadines, Grenada and Carriacou is a dependency of Grenada. So Grenada was affected quite a bit, but that's the only one that really came close to us here last year. Of course, we got a lot of the feeder bands with high winds and rainfall, but no significant damage there, John. And that is a blessing.
Yeah, Roger. Well, long may that continue. I hope it doesn't happen. But that's the thing. You have that lovely those lovely islands with the golden sand and the blue sea. But you always have the when the the storm season is coming through. You never know what's coming. Over.
Yeah, that's correct. Even though last year, I believe it is, if I remember correctly, the Sahara Desert was flooded out quite a bit because of some heavy rainfall and things like that. So let's imagine you have a desert that's experiencing flooding conditions. This is what's going on with global warming and everything else in between. But without saying too much, the weather is taking a change, possibly for the worse. And we're seeing some really horrific weather all around the world with landslides, thunderstorms in certain places, flooding is going on. A whole lot of different things are going on all over the world, and we got to be paying attention. We're living in a global village now. One thing across the world may affect us at some point in time, so we're no longer separated by land and ocean there, John.
Yeah, Roger. Plus, we know a lot. In fact, sometimes I feel that we know too much, and we get the impression it's doom and gloom, where it's not really. It's just that we're getting everything, lots of it, and instantly. Just to tell you the working conditions: 500 watts Hermes light, and the antenna's a Moxon, about 14 meters above the ground. And I'm listening to your voice. And I'm just wondering, are you involved in one of the local radio stations there? Over.
That's a really great question, John. I do work for a media house. That is correct, and I do have a little bit of training in the broadcast. But I'm not a broadcaster. But I do work for a local media house. We have television, newspaper, all that stuff, internet related, all that stuff. So. It tends to bleed on once the movie around. So yeah, I suppose that's where that comes from. But anyway, you put a microphone in front, you want to have proper diction. You want to make sure that the person on the other end is able to understand what you're saying. So you concentrate on your words and all that stuff. So thanks for noticing that there, John. You gave me quite a bit of compliments today. It must be my birthday as well. Anyway. Yeah, so that's the story on this end here. Congratulations on the working conditions there, John. I'm still working with the hex beam. No changes here. The only change is the call sign so far.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I have a pal of mine in the Middle East, and his eyes brighten up when he hears someone with a hex beam. Over.
Yeah, they work quite well. If I really had a chance, I would definitely get another and another. For what it is, it's really, really great. Especially the big surprise for me is on the 6 meter. You get 2 elements on this antenna for 6 meters, and I have clocked 147 confirmed contacts on 6. Over the hex beam, believe it or not, as far as Fiji, Australia, New Zealand, places in Africa, all over Europe. Indonesia, India, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates. The only thing I don't have in that region might be Qatar. I do have Qatar. I don't have Bahrain. Bahrain is the only one I don't have. Israel, Saudi Arabia, and lots of great surprises all over Africa. It's been amazing. The only set I don't have with the XCC on 6 would be South Africa. That would have been a new one. I was able to get Zulu Delta 7 land as well, St. Helena. That was a nice surprise, and also in South America. So, this little antenna really does the job. Really, really surprising. Of course, maybe not my location may have a bit to do with it as well, but we don't always get the nice propagation like some of the guys in South America get. For example, I'm yet to log anybody in Japan on 6 meters. We don't really get the propagation that much like Brazil does. So I'll say pound for pound, every country, every region around the world does have its different sets of continuous propagation, and some gets a lot more than others there, John. Ocean 98 Echo India, 9Y4 Magic.
Yeah, Roger, on that, Mark. Yeah, well, they say about the 6 meter band. What do they call it? The magic band. I'm not sure why they call it that, but maybe you know the reason. But I think you have to have a lot of patience. And there's a guy, another guy in the Middle East down in Kuwait. Is he 9K2 Golf Romeo? And he has a monster beam for 6, over.
Okay, let me see who that is. 9Kilo 2 Golf Radio. Okay, Abdul. I'm not sure if I worked him before. I'm going to have to check that in my log, though. But we do have Mike Uniform in the log a bunch of times. He's one of those guys that's very, very active on the band. And we do get a lot of things. For example, with the expedition, Victor Kilo 9. Coco's Keeling Island. We were able to get them on the CW as well as on the digital mode. So it's a really nice surprises. But 6 meter is really great. One day I was shooting around. I heard a gentleman from Saudi Arabia. I went to one single side band and I asked him would he like to attempt a CW contact, and he obliged. I worked him on CW, and when he went back to calling CQ and voice, he just disappeared as if he never was there. So that's a good reason why they call it the Magic Band there, Jim.
Yeah, Roger, and just out of curiosity, do you have, are you a little bit musical, over?
Yeah, well, I suppose you're going through my cures at page, I think. Yeah, I used to play electric guitar. And I was in a heavy metal band. That was a lot of fun, but that's a story for a different time. Yeah, but I do play the electric guitar. I haven't touched my guitar in quite a while, though. But, yeah, I was in a heavy metal band, believe it or not. We do have a following here in Trinidad. A nice little following, a nice community with different progressive music, especially heavy metal and whatnot. And, yeah, I was in a band that was really lots of fun. Another very expensive hobby, though, let me tell you, all right?
Yeah, Roger, because they say that musical people find it easier to use and learn CW, over?
What I will say about that is that you pay attention a lot more. When you hear things, your ears go up and you listen. So, that's about it. But let me tell you something. Anybody who drives a vehicle of some sort, if you've never heard Morse code before, if you've never tried it, you've never listened to it, if you drive a vehicle on a regular basis, whether it be a car or a truck or whatever, anything with a horn in it, and you're in and out traffic and you're communicating with other drivers using your horn in your car, you know a bit of CW without even knowing it. Because, the simple things that we do every day, driving to work, driving back home, going to the grocery store, etc. We get in our car, we may use a horn in our car, and we communicate with other drivers. Some of the simple things that we do actually blends itself just a little bit into Morse code. If you really think about it and you could relate to it, you say, yeah, okay, I see what he's talking about. So people think that this Morse code thing is very hard. All you really have to do is to associate that with something that you do every day. And all of a sudden it becomes, it becomes familiar to John, all right?
Yeah, Roger. Well, I started out in ham radio in the before I was on the single band operation, and then I started off in the middle of the 80s, and in Ireland you had to do CW if you wanted to get on HF, so that was the reason I did it, over.
Okay, when you say the single band, I think you're talking about the chicken band. Or the chicken band, 11. What are 11? Yeah, I got my beginnings, my origins on that band as well. It was a lot of fun. It was a horse of a different color. But by the time my brother was actually licensed as well, he had his license before me. So by the time I got interested in amateur radio to get my license and all that stuff, they had actually removed the requirement for Moscow to get your license. So, yeah, I didn't do Moscow to get my license. However, I always wanted to learn it, always wanted to do it, and now I'm actually on board with it. This is really great. For example, this past weekend with the IARU HS contest, I did a bit of CW in there. The propagation was not great, but even though the propagation was very low, I was able to work some guys on CW. No signals, just beeping in the distance, and so, you can really copy what you're hearing, different stations all over. My best contact on the weekend was Delta 2 Uniform Yankee. That's my good friend in Angola in Africa. And I worked him on 10 meters CW. So, yeah, I would encourage anybody who's listening, get involved with Morse code. It's a really, really nice mode. It lends itself quite well. You could do a lot, 100 watts of wire and Morse code there, John. Oscar Nancy 8 Echo India, 9Y4 Magic.
Yeah, Roger, on that, Mark. 9Y4 Magic, Oscar November 8 Echo India. Yeah, well, no, I kind of left it behind, but my pal, the guy that got me through the CW, he's Echo India 5 Echo November, and he spends his weekends down by the seaside in his camper van, tapping away. Over.
Yeah, okay, well, I think that's the fun part. The fun part of CW is actually sending. I don't need to explain, people that may be listening, Morse code is actually two skills. Sending and copying is two different skills. I do like the sending quite a bit, especially if you have nice keys to play with, nice toys. I have a couple of Vitali keys, really great, really expensive though, but really nice, is really worth it. And, it doesn't make sense to have all this beautiful equipment and you can't use them, right? So, that's another reason. And I realize a lot of DX stations use CW, a lot of DX editions use CW, so if you want to deep dive, get some great DX stations, getting on board with CW is as the requirement. But, yeah, I think sending is much more beautiful part. Of course, the magic happens when it takes time to head copy, and you really sit down and tell yourself, did I really have this long conversation with this guy, and all this beeping stuff, and I could actually understand everything that he's saying there, John. So that's the amazement, because you don't copy CW in your conscious mind. You do your copying in your subconscious. That's what happens, and so your brain processes all this stuff, and for the most part, in the blink of an eye, you could understand everything was being said there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, and of course you're hearing words and not letters. Over.
What is the propagation change there? Oscar Nancy 8 Echo India 9Y4 and John Solofus?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, you're hearing words and not letters. Over.
Oh, okay. Well, of course, you do hear the letters first, and then you train yourself. You put in the letters, the words, and the sentences. Of course, with practice, practice makes permanent, as they say, John.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, Mark, it's been great speaking with you, because normally with you, it's 1 or 2 overs and on to the next person. Over.
Yeah, well, sometimes I get on the radio, John, to be quite honest. I do enjoy a good QSO, John. I can ride you from now until the sun comes up, let me tell you. But sometimes I get on the radio and I tell myself, okay, let me see how fast I could work 50 stations. If it takes me 10 minutes to work 50 stations and work on my QSOs per minute. So, and then people get on here and they call and everybody wants a QSO, everybody wants a confirmation, everybody wants Trinidad and Tobago confirmed and all that. So I try to facilitate best I can. Anyway, but it's nice of you to stop and give me a call here. I think you're going to get off now. I was really intending to stay about 20 minutes, so we've been here for a bit now. John, thanks a lot for all the great questions and a really nice QSO. And you can learn a lot just by talking to other folks. And your signal has been really great from beautiful Belgium to Trinidad the entire time. So thank you so much. If you hear me on any time, any place, anywhere, feel free to give me a call again there, John, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I'll be very happy to do so, and vice versa. So, what time? Local time here, by the way, Mark, is it's about 1:25. So, time for bed. Although I do have a day off tomorrow, so tomorrow will be spent working in the garden, doing a few jobs. So, till the next time, Mark, have a nice evening, and hopefully the storms will pass by your house and you won't even know it. So 9 Yankee 4 Mike, Oscar November 8 Echo India. Till the next time, Mark, over.
Okay, John, thanks a whole lot. You and I have that in common. I have tomorrow off. My local time here is 7:24 p.m. on Sunday night. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you so very much for the nice QSO and the nice greeting. I'd like to reciprocate same to you and yours, and hope you have a great day in the garden tomorrow. Hope you'll be a little bit productive and stay hydrated. Oscar Nancy 8 Echo India 9Y4 Magic 73, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Bye-bye from Belgium. Thank you.
773.